One of the reasons I wanted to have this meeting with you is because we've met in the past and you have a really great story of how you invested in yourself. You were in a job that was taking care of you but wasn't quite your dream, and you realized that you wanted to make a change, and Warrior Fitness was part of that. Tell me a little bit about that. Where were you and what were you doing, and what helped you make that change?
I had a lot of great jobs, and I think the change came in all these jobs and careers that I had. I just never had a passion for anything I did. No matter what the job was, I mean, they were definitely not jobs, careers for a lot of people. There were a lot of positions that a lot of people strive for, and I just didn't have the passion. I couldn't see myself waking up and doing these jobs every day. I mean, matter of fact, I hated waking up and going to these jobs every day. I hated, countless pointless meetings that we'd sit through. So I just had an issue with kind of management and the leaders and the reasons why I was working these jobs. I worked these jobs because they paid well, not because it was something that I felt like people needed, not like it was something that I felt like, made me a better person for it, but strictly because of money, and I just knew that if I found something that I was passionate about and put everything into that passion, that eventually the money would follow, and that became more important to me, is finding something that I actually enjoyed waking up to.
You're in the corporate world, and you want something more. You have that burning desire. What was it that made you finally listen to that voice and take that plunge?
I mean, I remember the specific day that I kind of made the decision to kind of jump in. There's two separate days. There was one day I was just kind of online, and I might have been on Facebook or something like that, and it has the sponsored ads that pop up all the time, and I don't know, they're manipulated by things you select on the internet and stuff like that. And I think I follow a lot of fitness things, and I saw NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, offer advertisement to get your certified personal training certificate, and I just figured, why not? At the time, I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do, because again, I knew I'd been in corporate for so long. I know I didn't want to work for somebody, but it just was kind of why not? Why wouldn't I do this? Go get it, be educated about what you enjoy, something you're passionate about, and then see where it leads. So it started off merely as that. As far as kind of taking that plunge, it was a separate day. I was just driving to work. My phone got a buzz that we were going to have a meeting, as soon as I got there. And I mean, I had already been frustrated about countless meetings, before. I didn't understand why we were having this meeting. It just seemed like, like they want to see your face, and they want to feel like they're empowered or doing something. But I remember driving to this meeting, and I had things that I needed to do at my office that morning, a couple people I wanted to meet with, and it was almost out of frustration. At that time, I had opened my gym, but it was more of a hobby for that first year and a half. We had opened our gym, and there was two other trainers at the time, two partners. And, I'd train some in the morning, then go to my job from 8 or 9 to 5, and then come here and train some more. But it never was serious, and I didn't feel like customers took me serious. Mm-hmm. And that morning, like I said, it was just like, why am I doing this? This job is getting in the way of what I actually want to do. And so I went to the meeting. As soon as the meeting was over with, I put in my notice. I put in a 1-month notice, because I just told myself, beginning of June, I'm jumping completely in regardless. If I fall on my face, I fall on my face.
But you had a young family at the time, didn't you?
I did.
That had to be really scary.
I mean, yeah, but I guess it just got to the point where, if you stick to a job or you stick to something you're doing just strictly based on finance, mm-hmm. you might not ever make that leap. The thing about it was, the longer I stuck at that position, at that time I was working at American National Bank as a branch manager, and the longer I stayed with that job or with that company, I get more positions, I get different designations or titles, and it'd be harder to leave that job. So, it's never going to be a right time, and I knew that for a long time. And it just came to a point where I woke up that morning and I realized that, I'd rather die chasing my passion, living my dream, and failing at it, and knowing that I at least attempted to meet that, than not trying or keeping it as a hobby and really not devoting more time into what I have a passion for.
So those first couple months, so you quit your job, and those first couple months, what were those like?
They were rough. I remember the very first month, we'd already opened our doors. People kind of had an idea who we were. And that's another thing, when you open up a business, you assume that, I've got all these friends and like I've got all these Facebook friends, and I'm going to put it out there and let them know what I'm doing, and our doors are going to be filled, and it just doesn't work that way. I can honestly say the majority of my clientele right now they're not friends that I've grown up with or known, they're definitely friends now, and they're some of the closest people to me. But back then, like I said, it was a struggle when I first left. The first couple months, classes might have had a couple people in them. My personal training definitely wasn't what it is today, and I knew that struggle was there. I kind of saved what I could. I took out from retirement. I used credit cards, and I just kind of weathered the storm. I knew if I stuck with it, I truly had a passion to put in the time, it would turn itself around.
Chet, we've touched on this before, but if somebody was going to come to you and say, I've got this passion, whether it be to change careers or get healthy or whatever, what would be your elevator speech? What would you tell them about making that dream come true?
You only live once. I mean, it sounds like, you hear that quote all the time, and, people really, I don't know, some people take it from a party standpoint, do all the things you want to do or be happy, but you only live once. And what I take from that is, like I said, if you don't go after those opportunities and dreams, which your dreams should be protected, those should be some of the most important things in your life. They're not just going to knock at your door. Opportunities, they come along to the people that work for them. You know what I mean? Like if you don't go looking for those opportunities, they don't come knocking. And there's a lot of quotes that mislead and say other things to, just be ready for one. No, you got to go find those opportunities. So if you don't take that jump, you don't take that leap, then you don't know what you're capable of, and most people, unfortunately aren't in a position and aren't in a job that they're passionate about, and they go to school for something and they get a degree, which shows that they can, be consistent and finish something. That's pretty much what's good for a degree. And even in corporate world, like the corporate, why they want to see that is just they see commitment, that's the big, it's not even the degree, it's the commitment. And, if you're going to be committed to something, it should be something that, again, you're in your job, you spend a lot of time, you spend 9-10 hours a day, at your job, 5-6 days a week. That's a big, huge chunk of your life, and if you're spending that big, huge chunk of your life doing something that you don't want to do, is that a good life? I don't, to me, I couldn't, like I said, I'd rather fail trying and know I tried and gave everything that I could, living my dream, than to build someone else's and hate it, the whole ride. So yeah, you got to take that risk. You got to take that jump. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect solution. It doesn't work out perfect. There's going to be failure after failure after failure, and that's your best lessons. You know what I mean? Like, I sold, all my positions, all my careers over time, from bank positions to insurance, were sales positions for the most part. So I pharmaceutical sales, I've sold at the highest level, but at the same time, it all comes down to people have to believe in you first. They buy you, they buy the person before they buy a product or a service. But then behind that, hopefully you've got a product that is actually something that's going to be good for those people. So that's what makes, it made it so easy for me, is just I knew what I was doing I'm not selling crap. I'm not selling something that people don't need. Everyone needs it, and so I felt confident in that, like, even if I don't have my doors filled, the 1 or 2 customers that I do get, I'm doing something positive to change their life, and hopefully they can in turn do the same for someone else. But I just had to take that risk. I had to make that leap of faith that I was doing the right thing and live with the consequences. But like I said, if you never take that jump, you never take that leap, you're never living your life to the full capability, and you'll probably never be happy, truly happy, because you're spending that big chunk of your life doing something that you're not extremely passionate about.
And even if you fail, you can at least look back on it and go, I did that though.
I mean, those experiences are irreplaceable. You know what I mean? Like it's all about the experience that you have, and if nothing else, you know, you're able to share that experience with somebody that does have an interest in something that, you know, you were pursuing, and maybe you could tell them all the things that you did wrong along the way, so you can save them time by, you know, helping somebody else do all the things right the first time.
Chet, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me come down. And if anybody's interested in some getting into shape, Warrior Fitness. Look it up online, www.
WarriorFitnessCenter.com. All my social media pages are Fortune402, so just inbox me or direct message me, and we'll get you started.
Thanks again.
Yeah, you got it.